to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town. The station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.
GOB TV and radio and so Emre Eson se oman ene ama wodo so nsem amensaka se enwumre no nsiaka se boy ene mi tumi ade abeso mu ba bibia wo na wo temenka enso etumi ade efri ensem no edoso na ne obetie ebi enso enie ene ye kopiemu enso mra hye bedwafie no mokwa asetena na onimonyamfo ani din enso ene Alban Bagbin din nsem bebre na etimi atudwa eye nsem be no ode atudwa emu nkyeremu nyina no ebetumi aba wakwem na ne manso akonanim eri amagana ahwefo nso ne etiefo nyina no ewo honom afa ekura no onimonyamfo a wono eye Ghana mampanyi na nadodankwa gufu ado ekyiremu se eniema bebre ho a waka ewo na penso eno no eye over ambition titiru ene agenda 111 no eno nso mu nkyeremu nyina no ebetumi aba wakwem na ne makonanim eri amagana ahwefo nso ne etiefo nyina no enso ewo honom afa ekura ne bekodom kuma nso nkyɛn omusu di nsem bebre na etudwa mu chemse Ghana mampanyi state of the nation's address ode betudwa no ade se nsem bebre o ma omante enso hwa ye di mu nkyeremu no ebebre na hwefo enso ene etiefo nyina no enso ewo honom afein ye betimi akwa akopie mu enso ewo adwadifo nkyɛn 11 no sen no musimi somu ewo ho enu mu nkyeremu nyina no ebetumi aba na ne ma akonanim pan de amaye na abakuma se monten so abro no adwadifo ma egu bebre pa enso any race course na oba ya chewa ya ono enso ye adwadifo hima ewo race course no eri nsem bebre na atimi atudwa emu nkyeremu nyina no ebetumi aba wakwem na ne ma akonanim eri amagana awefo enso eni etiefo nyina no ewo ho na yebebo wini akopiem Honorable Mustafa Yusuf enso akache ono sports minister wono so dia sida PSA ama Ghana fo nyina titiru enso ene Ghana players na omukosi akan qualified ikopiem okata no emu nkyeremu no ebetumi ade aba na MP a wegina mu ama omanfo mu obungurugu ya enso di sembebre na etimi atuja wo chemse onya Ghana mampanyi na nadanko akufuado aye shodi work pa enso wa emu nkyeremu no ebetumi aba wakwem na ne ma akonanim ade ama Ghana wefo enso ene etiefo nyina no ewo honom na kasie enwumeko bi adaroma anomo so masne na metumi ade abro ye prefer travel and tour GOP multimedia Lucien Phones and accessories Genesis fashion designs and boutique so kan bi ana kasie boy etimi ba wakwem kasie unya kopie mo modern Ghana pe udi abo modern Ghana radios unsa betimi akan okono abo GOB radio unsa be kan live and clear wa eni emekonanim eri magana ahwefo enso eni etiefo nyina no ewo honom afa unya kopie mo YouTube wepe eno no eye GOB newsonline.com eni ema betima konanim enso eri amaye na ahwefo eni etiefo nyina no ewo honom na kasi eboy eze twegu live and clear www.gobtv.tv enso eso na ne ema konanim panso de magana ahwefo eni etiefo nyina no enso ewo honom na mi amede kasi eboy ebro no midi ya no Oheneba Appiah Kubi wo fam na asai pe mi metimi ajusu ye pa mi ne na maje bre enya bre kasi eni nkyeremu nyina ne tofa bo nyina no enso etimi de abro na mi twa mi ho aba me ba pe kasi eni nkyeremu no ebetumi akoso e de amawo.
You are listening to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town. The station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned yen na yemfa kase ebo no enkyeremu nyina no etumi emra wakwem na ne mankonanim emfa magana awefo enso ne etiefo eho na enu adana Ghana mampanyi na adodankwa akufuado adodroba enso ekopie mu amra hye bedwafie na papa no edi nsem bebre na etimi atudwa edi wo man no gina bie no enso etimi edi to Ghana fo nyina enso anim na papa ne nsem odi tudwa no ne fa kakra bi nso na eja etwetwe Ghana fo nyina so enso e kire se wangasa na nado dankwa kufuado yenimsa ya adu show boy yenimsa wangasa no wutimi ye niema nyina bi enso e Ghana mamu ase wo kan wo yo na ye den na akwa kase ambition bi wo ha wetimi aye pa nanso no overly ambition na kire se ne wudi wani buye no ade se wantimi ankonya ne se ne nka wo wewe no agenda 111 ya wudi si wani so se anka obetimi asisi hospital sahodo ese dia mo Michael Krugana e wo 16 regions e twa enhu ahia no enso e wa ha na nu ne ko wi achi na sa kwa bibi ti se eniema wo ka so ba enehu na enso ho eno ana Ghana man panyin na Dankwa Kufuado ekojina simpie so enso e wo mrase bedafia no a the state of the nation's address neba no wadi tuja wo chem se asesi angasa de se ne eniema simi ko e de ma me no ya de se wo mse makapa nenso no se mekasa mi focus wo so na ma ye pande a ebe ma niema bebre na enso etimi aka echi e wo Michael Krugana ha ye nyina enim se ne o man no enso ejina bia esimitie na senti no agenda 111 no overly ambition yankwa na ekwatie na nado Dankwa Kufuado ne nsemo de tuja na ebi
to address some of these shortcomings. At the normal rate of growth, we are not likely to make up the deficit in our health facilities infrastructure for a very long time. Hence the need for a special dedicated program of infrastructural development. We are undertaking the construction of 101 entities which comprise standard 100-bed district hospitals for 101 districts without hospitals, with accommodation for doctors and nurses. 6 new regional hospitals for each of the 6 new regions. The rehabilitation of the Appiah Kubi Hospital in the Western region. 1 new regional hospital for the Western region. And 3 psychiatric hospitals for each of the 3 zones of the country, that is North, Middle, and Coastal. It is an ambitious project which must and will be done, and which will create some 33,900 jobs for construction workers, and on completion, some 34,300 jobs for health workers. Speaker, I have to report, like all major construction projects, it is evident that the initial schedule we gave for the completion of Agenda 111 was overly ambitious.
Na no Dankwa Kufuado adu show boy ne ete nka wa wa Jesus sisi angasa de ade so nya kopiemu enso e woni nsem odi tuja na etimi akwa ese overly ambition ho no wie ya pe no James ye nyina nim yare ekodi awu anu so betim besense o Michael Krugana ha COVID-19 emrabafo ni bi kan kwabna 19 no sene ye Ghana ha yesimi fatoto ye niema faye no ya extremely pa higher enso esna amanhudo bebre na amanhudo na nso ani je ye ho kwankura ye fa so ani anamo ye fa so yetimi ekon ye yare no enso wa ha enu ntinu Ghana ban ene ne management ni nyina no enso ye proud pa enso ho no wie ya pe no sa chim se Ghana yen COVID-19 mi ba ye afimpienu ani aduonu no 2020 COVID-19 na sha se na yi ni tinetine mu aba 2 years mu ani no eka ye boye nyina ye 17.7 billion US dollars ana yetimi ede kun sa COVID-19 kai na Ghana man panyi ko pie mu enso na hye bedwafie no say eno edi tuja ho.
Now seems such a long time ago, and the trauma of a world ruled by a pandemic has changed all our perspectives. Back in March 2020, when the first cases of COVID hit our country, we and the rest of the world were in uncharted territory. Fear and sheer terror gripped our land. Probably to future generations, it will look quite obvious what should have been done. But 2 years ago, it felt like we had fallen into a dark, malicious, and terrifying abyss. We could not have been prepared for the catastrophe that hit us. Even the richest economies with the most sophisticated structures were unprepared. Maybe some of us have forgotten what the experts were predicting at the time. Our health and medical infrastructure was woefully inadequate, and we would not be able to cope. There were going to be piles of dead bodies strewn across the streets of Africa. There was a general consensus that we should spend all our energies on resources, on protecting lives. I remember, for example, the discussions about PPEs 2 years ago. Nobody was asking or was interested in how much they cost. Just find them for our health workers, and that was the only consideration. I wonder how many people remember the cost of the first face shields and nose masks that came into our country. I took the decision we would prioritize the saving of lives, and then we would get together to rebuild our economy. Nobody imagined the devastation would be so widespread and last so long. We've had our fair share of COVID deniers and conspiracy theorists, but it is fair to say, Mr. Speaker, that our management of the COVID-19 outbreak has been exemplary.
State of the Nations address Timbeto ja enrada African amampanyin anadan kwa gufuado nchen wape ana Haruna Idrusu enso etimedi bitwaso wono minority leader in parliament na wasa yem na sebedwani di mo manfo mo tamale nofo na Haruna Idrusu nsam odi tuja masses weni enso ka kire wasiga na amampanyin anadan kwa gufuado nya no kure bia no bekan ye enso State of the Nations address ayetwa ni tiafe nso na nimu Davida apapai adesa wa mine no ha shipa komupa economy no entiema nkoye emfama ye Africa atimemufo ebre edwadifo manso esu na ye den na utimi kwa State of the Nations address ahunfo mine no ahunyeyi aya komu no enso entimi emba na sei ena ebra Ghana man pay na nadan kwa Kufuado enso etimi kasa wie ye no Haruna Idrusu edituja.
We have heard His Excellency President Nana Appiah Kubi. We expected him to deliver the two states of the nation address, which will reflect the growing hardships and suffering of the Ghanaian people. Regrettably, Mr. Speaker, he himself today does not have the confidence even to talk about the economy of the state. He is continuing with his promises and slogans. But Mr. Speaker, a constitutional imperative. We are prepared and ready to debate them and to prove a credible alternative like by John Dramani Mahama. So, Mr. Speaker, so with the president willfully downplaying the hardship reality, I beg to second the motion for adjournment.
State of the Nation address ya ehono.
Entini sana ensem no sutimi ko wie ewo ho ya yede ho amanebo ni nyina na ema na wefo enso ni atiefo na ho nsem na tima kona nimpa enso de amagana fo no ewo ho na Haruna Idrusu ane yete ne nka no yento aso ewo nsem fufuro mu na yenko pie mu enso mna sebedwafie yenya ko pie mu mna sebedwafie pe ene parliament kwa asetena ni nyina no ye 11 nsem na eho ana nsem na esime koso na eno no ana manfo mo so ekwagina mu ma Ghana fo and so various constituencies no I am a children na shebe fear for ne copy of my shebe fear no eri sembebre na tuja no mo twetwe ne ma hwasre eni na dabre enso ho ya wa mu chiem sesesi angasa no man no ni gina bia ni nyina no eni ne kanko ni nyina be gina 11 no enso eso na eno ana onmonyamfo no speaker of parliament Alban Bagbin eri sembebre na tuja na wo chiem se wo hwese ne ahomekeka enso a enimonyamfo ani din enso na wo gina mu ade mo manfo mo ahantaman anasa ahanta constituency no etime dia on pepre etime ba na se no the ambulance mu a masses wani na nsa ka kire ni nyina no akọ yese o mo prese yen fa attendance book no enso etime metum na hyebedwafi a ehun nsem ni koye deja enso ho na yen kọ na ekotie onmonyamfo ndi any speaker of parliament nsem odi tuja no enso ebi
Honorable members, as I stated earlier on, I acknowledge and appreciate the emotional way this thing was presented, and I totally also sympathize with you. But as I stated earlier on, this is a draft. We give the opportunity. There are other things that have gone under the bridge, including what we call the attendance register. Now, if you look at the attendance register for that day, definitely there are errors. And the senior member, one of the advocate, pointed out one case that even when he went to sign, he was told to come and sit. They know his seat, they will come and identify him and for him to sign. It never happened. But sitting here as the speaker, I saw, I recognized, and the Hansard can prove me right that some of the members that have been marked absent were present and in fact participating in the proceedings of the House. So this is a grievous error. Being the speaker and being the one having the ultimate responsibility, I will take responsibility and apologize sincerely to members for this error. I will plead with you that whatever our suspicions, let them remain as suspicions.
Etino onmonyamfo ani din yanso ni Alban Bagbin ani ete ne nkan e wo ha wo din sema wodo na enso etime atuja e de emaye na yento aso enfenfro ye guzu speaker of parliament akache Alban Bagbin e din sembebre na to so enso atu amu a de kosi so e wa attendance book no na yentie se ne ensem no esimi course e wo.
It's important I draw your attention to an earlier ruling that was given by my senior and father, and JT the late, that our standing orders does not recognize any document known as attendance book. And so the class at table were called upon to capture the attendance of members using either their eyes or whatever means, but not rely on what is called attendance book. But it is not in the Constitution and it is not in the standing orders of the House. Since that ruling, I myself have never signed in attendance book. When I was a member of parliament, I never. Well, it is a complete waste of time signing attendance book. So members should not belabor the point that we signed some document, whether it's attendance book or not. It is not known. It is not seen. It is not recognized by our law. There is nothing called attendance rules. The clerks at table must do everything possible to capture the attendance of members. Honorable members, attendance of members is to Parliament, not floor of the chamber of Parliament. The law laws who ruled earlier on that the law and custom of Parliament is unknown force, and what happens in Parliament is a pruning. It's a very wise decision. Was conventions, practices, costumes are not all captured in black and white in the book, but it is known by the house and we follow them. Most of these things are happening because of the recent judgment of the Supreme Court. And that is the good reason why I asked for a review. I was thinking on, but at least give me the benefit of the doubt that for all these years I've been here, I've known something that others don't know.
Eti onmonyan fani di enso ne Alban Bagbin wono ene ye speaker of parliament ane ete ne nka no de nsema wodo na etimi atudwa de amaga na awefo enso ne etiefo nyina no ewo ho na yento ansem ne so yenkonkopie mu enso ewo onmonyan fani di ene kwabna ochire dako wono eye mraje bedwani na wose agina mu eye regional minister edema western region no wodi nsem bebre na etimi atudwa papa na echirem se 11 ye passe ya pe Ghana ye Eurobond no bo adwuma se eja konkoma fu ajan no enso we wonsem na ye kama pa ne sent na we se Ghana ye nyina ye we moden na ye timi sacrifice ahodo ere ma oman no na oman no fa ne ntuma pa enso etimi de efura eno ntino ze nyina ye eji atumu pa na etua 11 no kama pa de amasa oman be ko na nima sinsi.
The worst part of it has come off. We want to bounce back together, we want to work together. And the Russian war we talked about, 30%, if our wheat is coming, 30% of our wheat is coming from this area and it's cut off. That's why the prices will go up. Okay, so I do believe that the most important thing that the president was trying to convey today is to be reconciliating, to bring everybody on board so we can all bounce back together. I mean, this is not the time we are coming to argue about GDP growth rate and the rest. Look, this government has done so much. If even in COVID we're delivering 5.6% GDP growth, and somebody was not in COVID under the NDC administration, we're only doing 3.4. Clearly, we have delivered. Secondly, what you should understand is that this economy has delivered jobs, even in the formal economy. Not until we came to power, when jobs in the formal economy, the formal government sector was about 320,000. Now we've moved that figure to 681,000. Clearly, nobody can tell me that if you are not seeing GDP growth rate with your eyes, you cannot see jobs in your community. In your own community, you know people have gotten jobs in the government sector. You know people have gotten jobs in police, in soldier, in all that. So those ones people can see. And when it comes to roads, we have delivered over 10,000 kilometers of roads, which are all ongoing, and those some of them have been completed. Nobody internally can tell me that he has not seen the first interchange in the northern part of our country. Nobody. That's what the president did this. He said, go and have a look at it. So for me, the president came here to reconcile the nation. He came here to put all of us behind the government and behind the presidency so that we can get things done, so that our living standards, the anxiety that is in the system can go down. Look, if you all don't work with him to generate opportunities, generate incomes, generate productivity, there's no way this country can move forward under one person.
What do you feel about
I believe that e-levy for me is nothing short of making little sacrifices to build the nation together. Look, e-levy, you all understand. Immediately yesterday it was passed. All the bonds bonds of Ghana, Euro bonds started doing well. Clearly shows that the investors in our economy were waiting for us to also make the little sacrifices. Yes. So for me, it shows a good decision that the government has taken, and these monies are coming in to do three particular things that I support. The first one is the youth start, which is for the young people to start doing their own businesses and be productive. The second one has to be due to infrastructure of roads, and the third one has to do with network connectivity. Now, because of USHS, every village, there's a graduate there. You need them to be productive no matter where they are to still connect with the Ghanaian economy and also. So I support e-levy, and I believe there's some of the little sacrifices that we all make. But what you are transferring is in proportion to what you are transferring. So if you are transferring small, you are paying small. If you are transferring big, you are paying big. So it's very progressive. Very, very progressive.
Enti sana kwa owa afi no niema etimi akona nimpa de magana ahwefo ne atiefo ye na ya sorry dwumadie no so ne yakọ na dwumadie di watimi ato aso de ma afi nwura ball bom na wo amaya wo do matimi qualify ko piem Okata 2022 na say na Smith e kata already wa qualify Brazil eko Belgium eko England France Argentina ko piem Spain Portugal the Netherlands enso akwa ko piem Denmark Germany Mexico Switzerland, USA, Ukraine, Croatia, Senegal, Bizantina, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, Zanzibar, South Korea, EcoPM, and North Korea, and Tunisia, and ZMPM, and one seven Nipa, and ZMediama, Zanzibar, Cameroon, Canada, BPM, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Wales, Ukraine, Scotland, Peru, and Costa Rica, and New Zealand, for no. April one ma yewe senya ma betimi akona ni media man Wales Ukraine and Scotland and omopre ewo hwa de obetimi apie no pe no oba beka ho na say ya na ya yekoye draw na ebesimi akọ nyankopon ya ma wo china ana Ghana obekwa akopie mu na eja World Cup qualifiers no anase World Cup no draw no ankasa betumi aba na World Cup no ya na ye ne port bia na okọ port 1 Qatar Brazil Belgium, England, France, Argentina, Spain, and Portugal. And port 1 no. Port 2 one so Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Mexico, Switzerland, USA, Ukraine, Croatia. Port 3 Senegal, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, South Korea, North Korea, Tunisia. And port 4 Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Ukraine, and Wales, and Scotland no. Scotland no do be pie mu bia no obeba bi na Peru Costa Rica so ni New Zealand ni so prepare na wonsem na konanim enso etime dia menti Ghana we se ne draw na esimi ko yetira anye yepe ye betimi a share Brazil anase betimi akosia Germany anase betimi ni Japan man no enso etime akosia na eze kwakoye group of death e dia ma Michael Kuno Ghana Brazil Germany Japan se niema nsesade anhwe asa teams we ana countries we na Ghana ne no kwa kopie mu group ha ehun ne be deja enso etime de amenti no zana niema azimi kwa yetime de yani di akire nyankopon ya adma ochina no nyankopon sese wie mu mayene na draw no so etime be pie mu a GOB yemfa na muda yemfa nsie muda ye betumi ama mu so mu etime hu niema be ko na nimpa eri amamu aha na bebe makwa amamde kasebo ni nyina no enso etime si Before travel and tours or masnibi, ana kasebo etime de ba ye nei, wo pese huntu kwan ko pie mu amanone a obetimi abo afreno. Ewo +44 2080 684974 +44 2080 684974. Obetumi apoa na wa kwanto hu dadwe ni nyina so etimi akona ni me de ma take it in wo ye hu adwuma flight booking wo ye hu adwuma hotel booking wo ye hu adwuma na ne ma so etimi akona nim visa hu sensem ni nyina no so di hu adwuma na ne ma kopa anso etimi de ma Lucien Phones and accessories so masnibi Genesis Fashion Designs and Boutique so ka hu bi pa Sasna GOP Multimedia no enso abomodin aso yasnibi ne ma kona nim e de ma Ghana awefo enso ene atiefo Midiya no Oheneba Appiah Kubi wo frame na asai pe metumi ajusu ye pa me ne meje pre enya pre de kase ebo no nkyire mu nyina no etumi eba wa akwa me sorry so na dwuma de edi wo ato aso e de amaye yakra.
You are listening to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town, the station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.